The morning sun blazed down on the practice field, turning the vibrant green turf into a dazzling spectacle. Cheers erupted as the football team warmed up, their bulky pads and helmets a stark contrast to the sleek, colorful uniforms of the cheerleading squad. Among them, a new face shone with a mix of excitement and a touch of apprehension: Maya Davis. Maya was a whirlwind of energy, her jumps higher, her smiles brighter, her spirit infectious. She poured her heart into making the cheer squad at this new, larger high school, dreaming of sunny practice sessions and camaraderie. But as she moved through her routines, a chill began to seep into her enthusiasm. It started subtly, a mumbled comment about her hair for one of the football players who invited her, whispered loud enough to be heard. Then came the accidental bumps in the hallway during passing periods, the snickers from the sidelines during drills, the way they'd suddenly fall silent when she approached, only to erupt in laughter once she passed. The ringleader, as she quickly identified, was Jax. A linebacker with a swagger that seemed to fill the entire practice field, Jax exuded an air of entitlement. His eyes, often narrowed when they landed on Maya, held a dismissive glint. He saw her, a black girl, as an unwelcome intrusion into what he considered his domain. To him, cheerleading was an accessory to football, and she, a new face, was an easy target for his ingrained biases and the casual cruelty of his clique. Maya tried to shrug it off. She told herself it was just guy stuff or new school jitters. But the constant barrage of microaggressions chipped away at her confidence. It felt like walking through a minefield, never knowing when the next veiled insult or exclusionary tactic would explode. At lunch, she'd find her usual spot taken. During group stretches on the field, a football player's large foot would accidentally trip her. They'd spread rumors, too, about her attitude or her trying too hard. It was a silent battle, fought in the margins of her exciting new life. Sometimes the loudest struggles are the ones fought in silence, and Maya was fighting a quiet war. Each sneer, each whispered joke, each dismissive glance was a tiny cut, insignificant on its own, but cumulatively, they were bleeding her dry. She'd come home, the vibrant energy of the school day drained, replaced by a dull ache in her chest. "How was practice, honey?" her mom would ask, and Maya would offer a non-committal fine, pushing away the memories of Jax and his friends mimicking her cheer moves with exaggerated, mocking gestures on the bright green field. She felt a strange shame, as if admitting to the bullying would somehow validate it, or worse, disappoint her parents. She wanted to handle it herself, to prove her resilience. The worst part was the gaslighting. If she ever tried to gently confront one of the guys, they'd feign innocence. "Whoa, chill out, Maya. It was just a joke," they'd say, or "You're taking things way too seriously." It made her question her own perception, wonder if she was overreacting, if the pain she felt was just in her head. This insidious form of emotional manipulation is known as gaslighting, and it's a powerful tool bullies use to make their victims doubt their own sanity and experiences. It's like 1,000 tiny cuts adding up to a deep, festering wound, and the psychological distress it causes can be profound, making one feel marginalized and alone. At home, though, there was a different kind of strength being nurtured. Her father, Mr. Davis, was a steady, grounding presence. He was often busy, his phone constantly buzzing with calls, but he always made time for Maya. Over evening meals, or sometimes during a quick coffee break in the morning before school, he'd listen intently as she recounted her day, offering thoughtful advice, never dismissing her concerns, even when she kept the true depth of her struggles hidden. "Remember, Maya," he'd often say, his voice calm and reassuring, "your worth isn't determined by how others treat you, but by how you treat yourself and others. Stand tall, no matter what." He spoke of integrity, of perseverance, of facing challenges with grace. He never preached, but embodied a quiet confidence that resonated deeply with Maya. She saw him navigate complex situations with a gentle firmness, and it gave her a template for her own life. These conversations, these moments of shared understanding, were her unseen shield. They didn't stop the pain from the outside, but they fortified her from within, reminding her of who she was and whose she was. She was Maya, strong and capable, and the opinions of a few insecure boys didn't define her. Little did the bullies know, the very ground they thought they controlled was about to shift beneath their feet. The annual school spirit assembly was always a chaotic, boisterous affair. Students packed the gymnasium in the bright morning, buzzing with excitement for the upcoming football game. Maya, positioned front and center with the cheer squad, felt a knot of anxiety tighten in her stomach. Jax and his crew were in the front row, their eyes constantly scanning for opportunities to disrupt, or, in Maya's case, ridicule. Just as the principal began his welcome remarks, a hush fell over the crowd as a distinguished figure walked onto the stage. Mr. Davis, Maya's father. Maya's eyes widened. She knew her dad was coming to a school event, but she hadn't realized he'd be part of the assembly. He looked different here, not just her dad, but a man of authority and presence. The principal beamed. We are honored today to have a special guest speaker, a beacon of our community and a true visionary. Please welcome Mr. Marcus Davis, CEO of Tech Innovations Global. A ripple of murmurs spread through the crowd. Jax, who had just been miming a cheerleader's jump to his friend, froze. His eyes, usually so arrogant, were wide with disbelief as he stared at the stage. He fumbled for his phone, a quick Google search confirming the shocking truth. Marcus Davis, CEO, a powerful name in tech, a name splashed across business journals and financial news. The transformation on Jax's face was instantaneous and palpable. His jaw slackened. The smirking confidence evaporated, replaced by a look of dawning horror. He nudged his friend, who was equally stunned, gesturing wildly at the stage. The realization dawned on them, not as an act of revenge from Maya, but as a simple, unavoidable truth that had just been unveiled. The girl they had casually tormented, the one they dismissed as just a cheerleader, was the daughter of a man who commanded respect on a global scale. This sudden shift in perception is a powerful psychological phenomenon. Psychologists call it the halo effect and the horn effect. Initially, Jax and his friends were operating under a horn effect bias, perceiving Maya negatively based on superficial judgments and prejudices. But the moment Mr. Davis's status was revealed, it triggered a powerful halo effect, causing them to reevaluate Maya in a completely different light. It's unfortunate that it took a powerful connection to alter their behavior, but it highlights a broader societal issue of judging people based on assumptions, rather than seeing their inherent worth. Mr. Davis's speech was about the importance of community, of treating everyone with respect, and the power of embracing diversity for true innovation. As he spoke, his gaze swept over the audience, momentarily meeting Maya's. A small, knowing smile passed between them. He didn't know the full extent of her struggles, but in that moment, there was an unspoken understanding, a shared strength. For the bullies, the weight of their actions suddenly became crushingly real. Their casual cruelty had been directed at someone connected to immense power, and the realization was a stark, chilling reality check. Little did they know, the quiet strength that Maya had shown them was just as profound as the power her father commanded. This wasn't just a story about one girl and her father. It's a story about the unseen power of respect and the quiet solutions that can transform lives. The fallout was swift, yet handled with the same quiet dignity that characterized Maya and her father. News of Mr. Davis's visit and the connection to Maya spread like wildfire through the school. Coaches, who had previously turned a blind eye to the subtle bullying, suddenly took notice. The principal, a shrewd and observant man, had witnessed the football players' shift in demeanor, and he didn't need to be told twice. Jax and his friend were called into the principal's office, not for a public shaming, but for a serious, private discussion. There were no dramatic repercussions, no expulsions. Instead, they were given meaningful consequences, required attendance at sensitivity training sessions, community service focused on mentoring younger students, and a mandated, genuine apology to Maya. The apology, when it came, was awkward but sincere. Jax, stripped of his swagger, mumbled his regrets, his eyes avoiding hers. Maya accepted it with grace, not dwelling on the past, but looking forward. Her quiet strength had won. This resolution wasn't about revenge. It was about fostering empathy and understanding. The bullies, forced to confront the impact of their actions, were given an opportunity to learn and grow. They realized that their assumptions, their quick judgments, had blinded them to the character of a truly remarkable person and her family. Maya, through her resilience and her family's unwavering support, demonstrated that strength comes in many forms. It's not always loud or confrontational. Sometimes, it's the quiet dignity of simply being yourself, even when others try to diminish you. The experience, though painful, ultimately strengthened Maya. She found her voice, not in anger, but in the quiet confidence that came from knowing her worth. The cheerleading squad became a truly supportive environment, and the football players, at least those who had participated in the bullying, treated her with a newfound respect. We hope Maya's story inspires you to look a little deeper, to listen a little closer, and to remember that every individual carries a unique story and an unseen strength. If you've ever felt unseen or misunderstood, know that your worth is inherent and your voice matters. And if you've ever been quick to judge, we hope this narrative encourages you to pause and consider the impact of your assumptions. What small act of kindness or understanding can you bring into your world today? Share your thoughts in the comments below.